Hello, hello. Welcome back, guys. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in. We're going to take a look at the today's topic energy for the 17th. We start out with the Eight of Swords. Um, that is somebody feeling very stuck in their mind, very trapped. We've got this energy of like, I'm trapped, but I'm not actually fearful. I'm trapped, but I'm not necessarily, I don't know if somebody's saying, I'm stuck, but it's not going to get me down. I'm stuck, but I know that I can get myself back out of this. Hang on, let me get another one. Got the Temperance, or I'm sorry, we have the Star. Forgive me. It's like somebody says, I'm only stuck as long as I let myself believe that I'm stuck, but I'm actually planning on my breakout moment. I'm planning on getting, further than this. I'm planning on a goal. I'm busy healing. I'm only stuck because I'm still healing, but I know that I am, and I know that this won't last. We've got this Knight of Swords and we got this Page of Cups. Somebody's got a big old plan, an escape plan, a plan like as soon as I'm ready, I'm rushing in and I'm saying, hey, listen, I'm sorry. I was busy healing. All I can say right now is that we have somebody who knows where their wish is. I'm going to escape this devil energy. I'm going to be free of this. I'm positive that this can be healed. And it's going to happen pretty soon. So it feels like they know something is coming. What is it that is coming? Is it their, like their bust out moment? It feels like something is happening. Okay, so we have the World sideways. This might be happening at like the 6-month mark. I mean, heck, this could be somebody who's like, look, I'm finishing the rest of my community service, or I'm finishing the rest of my sentence. I'm going to be out of jail pretty quick. And then as soon as I am, heck, we're already in the middle of April. If this is wrapping up, the only reason I'm saying at like the 6-month mark is because we got half of the world here, right? So what would half of the world be? 6 months. So I'm like, is this coming in June? This person feels like they're going to be dapper. They're going to be back on top. They're going to be able to approach a Queen of Pentacles, or they're going to be the Queen of Pentacles and have, the ability to sashay their way however they wish to in life. But this feels like someone who says, yes, I'm stuck right now, but trust me, this is getting fixed and I got a plan. And it feels like it's coming really, really soon, that they're going to get to have like a whole new beginning in their life. Tell me, why do we have the Knight of Wands there though? Because that seems inconsistent. We have a King of Pentacles. It feels like, okay, I'm going to give a scenario. I'm going to say let's say that we have a character who's been in jail of sorts. That could mean, we can use that figuratively. Oh man, it's been like I've been in jail. I had all this debt to pay off. I didn't have enough money to travel. I was going through a divorce, going through the legalities. The final court date is set and the final determination will happen, right at the beginning of June. As soon as that gets determined, then it'll be done. I'll have paid my last payment. I'll be free of this. Maybe I was ordered to do this or that, but then, that last alimony is paid, or, whatever it is. So I know that I have an end date in sight. And they definitely say, I know that this is ending. I'm not, although I'm still stuck at the moment, there's an exit and I'm living for that day and I know it's coming. This is somebody who's very certain that they're going to regain total freedom, and then they're going to come in and they're going to open up a new chapter. And this new chapter is one where they don't have to dip in and out, but it's where they can stand tall and steady and say, I'm going to stay. I'm a King of Pentacles to a Queen of Pentacles, and I'm going to stay. I don't have to leave again now that I've wrapped stuff up. And it almost feels like this person, it would have been impossible for them to be a king or a queen in the past if they were indeed, having to act as a knight, because life was pulling them back and forth, because they were trying to, we can't really jump ahead in life if we're still here. Sometimes you just got to close out a cycle, close out a chapter, do what needs to be done before you can move forward. But to do that, you got to handle it right. You got to go through the legal process if that's what it is. You got to face whatever the fines are going to be if that's what it is. You got to clean up the mess you found yourself in. So then you're totally free of the mess and is full steam ahead, full freedom after that. And that's what we see happening in this collection of cards. It's full steam ahead, is total freedom. Here I go. Then I can say, I'm sorry that I was wishy-washy in the past or unable to give consistency, but I can now. Look at me now. So that's what seems to be on this character's mind, is this is kind of like they're getting pumped. They're feeling like maybe they get some good news on the 15th that gives them an actual date where this will be wrapped up. Let me just ask, what is that? Is that the best interpretation? Is it that, I'm sorry, on the 17th, this is a message for the 17th. I don't know why I just said the 15th. We have the 10 of Cups. I will say this. I don't know if they receive some kind of like data that tells them I'm definitely going to make this work, but they feel emotionally like so hopeful on the 17th. Why specifically, when technically they're still stuck, but they feel so good, they feel so hopeful? What is it that's giving them this 10 of Cups feeling? Ace of Wands, if nothing else, it's just because they're able to say, I realize I really want this and it's closer in my grasp than I've ever thought it was. I'm daydreaming about great happiness. I am passionate and I am determined. I'm going to be able to turn this thing around, turn my life around. I'm going to be able to get stuff on track. That's really exciting for this character. I'm super, super happy for them. We have the Tower. I do think that they have a date where they will gain freedom, because the Tower is where finally things crumble, and where we've been stuck or trapped before, we're no longer stuck and trapped. So they must have been given like an absolute, at this point in time, you will be free of X, Y, or Z. They could have gotten the news like maybe right around the 17th, a day or two before, and now they're like, it's really sinking in, like, oh my God, I'm truly going to be free of this. There's an end in sight for my purgatory. I'm going to be free. I can start really dreaming about my next chapter, my future. I'm almost there. There's definitely a new beginning is within my grasp. And the second I can do it, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to start trying to rebuild my life, but this time in equality. Can you tell me, with this King and Queen of Pentacles, my impression is that this is who they want to be with. This is how they want to behave. This is the life that they want to have. We could have, this looks very British to me. So these characters could be British or be in London or, England somewhere, or it's just that they want a kind of, this is a decidedly like 1940s vibe, very proper English. It may be that they want a really respectable, powerful connection with a partner, and they even want to be like really well dressed and, quality clothing, with a very, like, be in a relationship where I respect my partner respects me. We are very committed to each other, and there's a sense of stability now. It feels like with all the instability they had before and the, we'll say, incarceration energy, they want wide open skies. They want a relationship built on like bond and trust. We have got the Devil card. Again, I keep feeling like this vibe of toxicity, this energy of, man, there was a problem. Man, there was a really toxic element before. And I'm wondering if at one point they were very puppeted by money. And that is not what they're after anymore. Now they want something stable. Now they want to show the difference between, I know you knew me when I was toxic, but I get to know me now. We have a Page of Wands. Anything, a hint of toxicity, and she's going to leave again. I feel like for this relationship to work, it has to be like really this is why it has to be so honorable. And so it's like you and me together. We're not going to let toxic attachment to money and things wreck this. I don't want you to walk away from me again. I don't want you to feel like I'm picking money over a relationship. I'm not going to do that again. Six of Wands. I mean, if this is the way this character has like said, okay, I can honestly say what happened is, yes, I was attached to money and it cost me you. I will never do that again. Let me tell you, learn my lesson. The success I want to have is in a relationship now, because there was no success when you walked away from me. I really feel like that's the crux of this. This is somebody truly like they had to they got themselves into some trouble, and they had to pay themselves back out of, or pay the cost to get themselves back out of trouble. Now they just want a relationship. Now they just want happiness. Now they want something totally different. And they're so psyched that they're going to be able to wrap something up. Can I see anything else about when is this cycle going to be wrapped up? Two of Pentacles. And again, we have like, like if we're weighing something as 50-50, again, we could say just like the World card being halfway, it could be at the 6-month mark. It could be just on time. It'll be just at the right time. It could be, man, there's no more minutes to spare. If they don't get stuff wrapped up and get on their merry way, getting into her world and offering her something of stability once they're free of the previous conflict they created, she could end up in somebody else's arms. We got two cowboy hats. Well, two different hats hovering in the air there. Okay, give me one more card here on when are they coming in. We have 10 of Cups again, this time in a sideways fashion. I'm going to keep saying June, June, June. That's what I see. Are they reaching out at all before then? Or is this somebody who is, they're just finally understanding when they can? We have a Queen of Pentacles. We have the 8 of Pentacles. I kind of think that they might reach out sometime very soon to say, I am wanting to set up a time to talk to you. I've been working on something. Can I talk to you in June? This does look like they want to give her an update. She's come out twice as the Queen of Pentacles. And I do feel like this is them wanting to say, I just want you to know I've been working on something. I just need you to know I've been working on, changing something in my life. Can I talk to you in about 2 months' time? Can I talk to you in June? Really, I mean, that's a month and a half away. That's not even very far, right? With this in mind, what response might they get from her if they do reach out prior to June? King of Wands. Well, I look forward to hearing whatever it is you have to say then. This is a direct answer, but she's both feminine and masculine here. This is excitement. This is speaking from the heart. She's not going to lie about anything. She might say, well, that's going to be really stressful to have to wait to hear anymore. But I'll be glad to hear whatever it is that you've got to tell me. It does feel like she's going to be open about emotions. I don't know if she's going to be like, okay, well, I guess I get to sit on pins and needles and wait for what the big mystery is. Let me get one more. 9 of Pentacles. No, I think she is just going to say, well, I guess whenever you're ready to actually tell me something is when I'll hear. Otherwise, I go on about my life like I'm a single person. I do feel like instead of this stirring up like tension and being like, why are you breadcrumbing, this big reveal? It does kind of look like she's saying, well, I'm going to be kind of peaceful and content. I realize my guides have been telling me something was coming anyway. So we'd certainly have an individual who's like, he or she is in a really good mood. I'm going to say he, because he wants to be a King of Pentacles to a Queen of Pentacles. That was pretty consistent throughout this story. So I'm going to say he has wanted to get his act straightened out for a while. By the way, we did have a lot of Capricorn in this, the World and the Devil. We did have Aquarius energy here. We did have Aries energy here with the Tower. What else did I miss? I think that's it for our majors, right? Did I miss anything else? No, that's what we had for the major arcana. So those, but keep in mind, I would still say that the energy of him wanting to be a match to her, that's why I don't know that it matters what zodiac he is. What he wants to do is change his frequency so he matches with somebody who's stable. Sure, she could be a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, but doesn't have to be. It could just be that he wants to match his calm energy and stable energy to hers, and that could be the big, choice that he's been making, is like, I'm trying to organize my life so that I can be together in a relationship now instead of chasing down something toxic. In the past, he had to have been all about the money, and that might have gotten him down the wrong road. Maybe he ended up working for someone who was shady, and maybe he took the fall for the shady business company. Sometimes those things happen, because it did feel like he got himself into some hot water that he had to get himself back out of. And it does feel like it was shady stuff that, he unfortunately got himself embroiled in and then had to get back out of. But it's getting wrapped up, and this fresh lease on life is coming now. Definitely, even with this imagery, I would say June is a good month to identify for this, because it's kind of like a more peaceful energy, right? It's before summertime. It's kind of a transition month, where we go from morphing from spring into summer, or morphing, in the southern hemisphere from, like, I guess summer into fall. Summer into fall. Does that be right? Did I say that right? But it's kind of like transition time. Okay, let's go ahead, and I want to pull a card for someone whose birthday would be on the 17th of April. Okay, so we have Hanged Man, which is Piscean energy. I like to do a card pull, just one or two cards at the very end now, every time we do these for, a birthday celebration. We have a Hanged Man followed by the Seven of Wands. This says somebody pauses in order to either figure out where the obstacles are, but this could also be somebody who's holding on and holding back from making a decision because they have, like, this is a dragon, like, holding his gourd, his gold. Don't ask me why I just said his gourd. Although I will use that term to refer to somebody's noggin, their head. Maybe he's got it in his gourd that he has to hoard his gold. That is a tongue twister, okay? But it does feel like we could have somebody, you notice how she's like part tree and she's understanding, like, I get it. They're holding back because maybe they fear losing something. So it could be that we have two characters and a sense of, like, clarity. So a Seven of Wands is, 7 is always a divine number. And this is a card of how we overcome a struggle, an obstacle, or a problem. And it could be that our character has not seen it this way before, but they might realize, oh, if there's an obstacle, the obstacle is coming from that other person, not from me. And it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with their fears, has to do with where they feel like nervous to let go of something, or they feel, this could be somebody who doesn't want to say the words, I love you, for example, because they're so afraid to give those words, because what if they get disappointed and somebody doesn't love them in return? So it just says that we have, like, patience and comprehension as we see it from a different lens and say, why would somebody be holding back? Because they're the ones with the obstacle. Why do we hold back anything? Because we're afraid to lose it. It's probably obstacle that comes from fear. And there's a little bit of a hoarding mentality here. So it could be someone is not giving our character emotions, but it's like, that's because they're scared too. It's not because they don't like me. It's because they're scared too. They got to work through their fears, but I don't need to walk around and feel insulted by it, which I think is just a nice, gentle realization that, hey, everybody has wherever their comfort zone is, and it shouldn't reflect on us about how we value ourselves or imagine that our value is X, Y, or Z based off of somebody else's behavior. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up. Bye.